The NHL hopes for a third great story, and Brian Windhorst joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with tonight's final round of play-in games. The first game is Miami and Atlanta, with the winner set to play a first-round series against Cleveland. The late game is Dallas at Memphis, with the winner slotted to go against Oklahoma City. Wilbon, which teams do you expect to win tonight?
Tony, these picks are going to be narrower than one might expect, partially both of them based on health and some other conditions, and particularly health. Atlanta's got issues here and there, and the principals look like they'll play. You know, Trey Young did his thing the other day, which I thought was okay because I thought he basically made his teammates feel better, even though it was awkward. He's going to get fined, and he should have, and he was thrown out. But I'm going to go with Miami. Based on what I saw, Miami delivering a beatdown in Chicago the other night, I'm going to go with Miami. Those guys, some of them have experience from being in something called the NBA Finals. Going with Miami. Every bone in my body says pick Memphis at home. Because when Ja is out there, and even when he's not sometimes, they got depth. They got scoring from everywhere, rebounding from everywhere. They can defend. But, Tony, you don't even know whether Ja's going to tee it up. I mean, it's a game-time decision. They have won without him, but he's such a wild card. I'm going to learn my lesson. I've been counting on Memphis all year. No, I'm not counting on Memphis. I'm going with Dallas, who I'm sort of rooting for a bit, like you and I talked about yesterday, because of what's happened to them. So Miami and Dallas.
All right, I fully expect Dallas to win, and I expect them to win because they have an experienced NBA coach in Jason Kidd.
Great
Jason Kidd has coached that team all this year. He's coached it last year and years before that. He developed this team until Nico Harrison traded away Luka Doncic. And the guy sitting on the other side of the bench from Memphis has coached in 10 NBA games, and he's lost 6 of them. Excuse me. And his team couldn't inbound the ball at a critical juncture against Golden State. So I expect Dallas to win, and also I'm aware of the fact that Ja Morant might not play, which makes me expect Dallas to win even more. I expect Atlanta to win, though I am rooting for Miami to win. And I'm rooting for Miami to win without Jimmy Butler because, as you know, I feel that Jimmy Butler tortured that team for days and weeks till he got what he wanted. I don't think he cared about his teammates. I think he only cared about himself. So I would love to see Miami win without him, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Atlanta's going to win this game. The one bet that I would absolutely make is Trey Young will not get ejected in this game.
No,
and those are the teams
tonight.
I think are going to win. Not tonight.
No, I don't. I'm with you. I don't see that ejection. The NBA isn't the only league that officially begins its playoffs tomorrow. The NHL postseason also gets underway. The league has already had 2 memorable moments this year, with Connor McDavid in Canada dramatically winning the Four Nations face-off, and Alex Ovechkin and the Caps breaking Wayne Gretzky's career goals mark. Now the league could add a third. Tone, which NHL team would make for the best story if it were to win the cup?
So 3 teams pop up right away. The first one is Edmonton, because Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL, and he's never won this. He got close last year. I think they went to Game 7 against Florida, but he didn't win it. And as you say, in the Four Nations face-off, which everybody loved, he had the winning goal, so that would give him a spectacular year. The second team is Washington, and not because I live in Washington, but because it would be so remarkable if in the year that Alexander Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's record, his team also won the cup. It would be a drop-the-mic moment. And by the way, they're good. They're the number 1 seed, I believe, in the East. And if he were to score the game-winning goal, for the Stanley Cup, it would be phenomenal. And the third team for me is Toronto, because it's always nice when a Canadian team wins. They haven't won since 1967. And, Mike, that is the longest drought of any Canadian team. So those are my 3 right off the top.
Well, I wish I had the Canadian flag. You and I could be 2 of the few popular Americans in Canada right now if we were to go and visit. Because I'm going to give you 3 Canada storylines. I'm going to slip the Capitals out, sorry. I'm going to put Winnipeg in there, Tony, because Winnipeg led the league in points. Winnipeg had the best record. And how about this? How about if Winnipeg was to beat Toronto, Montreal, and Edmonton into the winner's circle and deliver to Canada what Edmonton, Montreal, and Toronto have been unable to deliver, but delivered so many times in the history of the league. Winnipeg. So I don't even know what order I would go. I'll probably say Edmonton, like you. You know, I root for them, and I root for Connor McDavid. But I never root against Austin Matthews, and I wind up, until they face each other, I root for Toronto. Winnipeg's a new entrant for me. But again, I wish I had the Canadian flag like you have, because I would wave it and get some love.
Last time that the President's Trophy winner won were your Chicago Blackhawks in 2013. It's a rarity. It's a rarity. Let's go to college football. I love this story. I love it. Where Colorado has announced it will retire the number 12 that Travis Hunter wore and the number 2 Shedeur Sanders wore. Ceremony will take place tomorrow at the Colorado Spring Game. Some former Colorado players, including star linebacker Chad Brown and offensive lineman Tyler Columbus, have expressed chagrin that nobody from Colorado's national championship team in 1990 has had a similar honor, and they generally felt that this action is coming too fast. Wilbon, do you understand why past Colorado players might not like why the program is retiring the numbers of Hunter and Sanders?
Yeah, I understand what they're saying, Tony. And I have it on damn good authority, first of all, that this was going to happen. I mean, this is anticipated from people who've been around Colorado for a long time, because they knew immediately that folks would think that Deion spearheaded this, which I am told, and I believe he did not. And people can say, well, he had influence. Everybody has influence. Any football coach or any campus has influence. The athletic director did this. He did it. Not ordered by Deion. Wasn't Deion's hand moving him around like a marionette. So if the athletic director does this, it's still being objected to by the great players in Colorado history who are calling up the school or people they know, former coaches, former administrators, and say, hey, wait a minute. What about all the people? What about the legacy of all these people? As if Colorado football was invented 2 years ago when Deion got here. Again, not at Deion's hand, but it reflects back to the current team as if they decided this and they didn't. But yeah, I get it, and it's real anger. It's real.
I heard about this for the first time today, and much like you, I get it. I understand this. If you're telling me that nobody from the national championship team, their only national champion, has been so honored, I would think that people might be upset about that. I think they might stand up and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Deion Sanders got here 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he hasn't won a conference championship, hadn't even won a bowl game, and 2 of his players are having their jerseys retired, including his son. I don't know about that. But Colorado has retired other jerseys, 4 in history, one of them belonging to Byron Whizzer White, a Supreme Court justice. But not Cordell Stewart or Michael Westbrook, which surprised me a little bit. My feeling about this is this, Mike. The kid won the Heisman this year. That's legit. You retire that jersey. And in terms of Shedeur Sanders, if he becomes a terrific pro, you're going to never hear a word about this. And in 2 years, he has the record, the school record for completed touchdown passes.